Infinite has had a severe lack of content since launch, so today I wanted to list some game modes that I would like to see put back into the game and why. The first one on my list is Ranked Slayer Only Playlist. And the reason I'd want a Ranked Slayer Only playlist, number one, we've had it since Halo 2. There's always been a way to see how good you are at Slayer. And even though Slayer's in Ranked Arena, some people, me included, don't like Ranked Oddball, Ranked Strongholds, Ranked CTF, and Ranked King of the Hill. We just fundamentally don't like objective game modes. And Social Slayer is cool, but especially since Halo Infinite doesn't have any sort of real career progression, playing game modes like Social Slayer, Big Team Battle is cool, but I'd like to have some sort of progression, and it just seems easier for Halo Infinite to add a Ranked Slayer only playlist than adding an actual career progression, which I want them to do the career progression, but I also want the Ranked Slayer because I like a more competitive Slayer only game mode, and it's the way I like to play Halo in general. And I know some people like to think that we shouldn't add too many playlists for queue time, but I'm gonna have to rebuttal that by saying that the reason some people don't play Halo Infinite as much as they normally would is because they have a lack of variety and options, and me included in that, by the way. The next game mode I'd like to see added into Halo Infinite is Breakout from Halo 5. And not the version you have now, but the more original version where it was SMG starts with half shields and both sides were symmetrical. And the objective was to get the flag to your side or kill the whole enemy team. I would like to see that expanded upon and improved in Halo Infinite. I know we don't have SMGs, so maybe give us ARs or add the SMGs into the game, which should have been there since launch in my opinion. But I did like the game mode. I thought it brought great variety to the game, and I would just like to see it expanded upon. And that was kind of Halo's version of Search and Destroy, and I think whoever created the game mode did such a good job. And I know in Halo 5 it was in the ranked playlist, and I don't mind if it's ranked, but I also wouldn't mind if it was just social. At least to try it out at first, or to kind of expand upon it in kind of goofy ways. Now, the next thing I'd like to see added into Halo Infinite is 8v8 or Classic Big Team Battle. And the reason why I'd like to see Classic Big Team Battle added back into Halo is because I think it'd be a great diversity from our 12v12. You could make it a bit more classic, where both sides get equal vehicle starts, and just make it feel more classic Halo, because even though the 12v12 big team battle is good, I prefer 8v8 because I just preferred the way that it was set up by 343 and of course Bungie in the past. One of the negatives about 12v12 is how everyone gets the same amount of weapons, and it gets a little too much with the power weapons at times. Sometimes I'm like, kind of wish we were fighting for power weapons instead of everyone getting, sniper rifles and stuff on each side. Another thing I'd like to see added into Halo Infinite, and this is another one from Halo 5, is Warzone. I did feel that Warzone was a good idea. It was just the rec pack implementation was done poorly. I don't mind a PvEVP mode, or player versus environment. I don't think that's inherently a bad idea, and I'd like to see them kind of mess with it and make it better. And I did like some of the boss fights that were in there, like the grunt mech suit and stuff. I especially liked Warzone Firefight. So I wouldn't mind if we saw more large scale stuff like that. I do think Halo Infinite is in severe need of PvE in its game. And the last game mode I want to talk about today that I'd like to see added into Halo Infinite is Invasion from Halo Reach. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How are we going to add Invasion into Halo Infinite when we don't have any elites? And to that I have to say, 343, please add an elite armor core. It only makes sense and it'll print you money. But past that, I would like to see it happen because I did think Halo Reach had a really creative idea when they had elites versus Spartans in the PvP. And the reason I thought it was really smart is because it was Covenant versus humans in the campaign. Well, let's put that in the multiplayer. Now, was it balanced? No, but it was a creative idea and people really seemed to enjoy it. And it kind of helped them, pretend they were elites, pretend they were Spartans, defending the objectives. And we just need more creativity in Halo. And I feel that the invasion idea that was in Halo Reach could easily be expanded upon in a more modern Halo Infinite game. Imagine if we had 12v12 invasion where there was Banshees versus Wasps. Of course, you need to buff the Banshee. But stuff like that, it doesn't even have to be particularly balanced. It should just be fun. That's the big thing, fun. And Halo Reach, especially Invasion in Halo Reach, had that in spades. These are some game modes that were in previous Halos that I'd like to see return in Halo Infinite. If you have any game modes that I didn't list, please put them in the comment. Thank you for watching, and...
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.